नानू की पर्चियाँ. The journey of a life scribbled in notes. Hello friends. As I bring Nanu ki parchiyaan to you, it's natural that you will wonder, who was Nanu? What was he to me? What am I doing with his parchis? The small chits that he kept on writing from time to time. Let me tell you all about it. As I grew up living with my maternal grandfather, my Nanu, I noticed his peculiar habit of writing, rather scribbling down small notes, anywhere and anytime. It wouldn't be stories or a proper diary writing or memoirs, but just something short and very satisfying. And he would write anywhere. Sometimes he would pause to write while working at his shop, sometimes while sitting at the edge of the bed, and sometimes even on his business rounds. He never kept any diary with him or any notebook to pen down his thoughts. He would simply pick up any piece of paper lying near him and just scribble his thoughts on it. I never understood what he would keep on writing. But somehow I developed this habit of collecting his chits, these parchis, and I would keep them hidden in the pocket of my school bag. No one ever came to know about them. For so many years, even my mom had no idea about this hidden treasure I had in my school bag. As I began to grow in age, so did the number of parchis, these chits. After Nanu went away to his maker in 2013, I picked up all the parchis and finally began to read them closely to make some sense out of them. The scribbled notes began to take shape, and I realized that this was no gibberish that Nanu had been writing all these years. Little by little, in bits and pieces, each scribbled note began to sound more and more like poetry. But, poetry inspired by real life incidents. With each parchi, I began to trace a connect, a parallel between many incidents happening around Nanu and the poetic lines that he had written on his parchis. For each incident, for one experience, he would pick up his pen and write his heart out. That was his way of learning about life and his way of teaching me what life was all about. These parchis were in fact the summary of his life. So here I am, Charmi Yadav, trying to reconstruct the poetry of my Nanu's life. And in this process, trying to understand life a little bit better.
So, friends, come on to this journey of Nanu's Parchis, a journey that will take all of us not only into his life but also into the lives of millions of middle class urban Indians that live in our cities. Nanu was an ordinary man, but what he learned and what he taught was simply extraordinary.
Each parchi takes me back to an incident from which Nanu learnt a life lesson and from which he taught me one as well. I remember a parchi which he wrote, खुदा मुराद पूरी करेंगे, सुना था, सोचा मांग लूंगा जब खुदा मिले, तब मांग के क्या फायदा जब मरने के बाद खुदा मिले.
A dear friend of Nanu had recently lost a long fought legal battle over a piece of land with his own family. A land that the former wanted to develop as a garden or as an orchard, but his family wanted to sell it to a builder to earn a handsome amount. The shock of losing the land was just too much, and Nanu's friend went back to his maker. Nanu was angry at God, at the family of his friend, at the immense greed of people in general. It was then that he had written this parchi.
Another one goes like this. हार निश्चित है, वो भी जानती थी, फिर भी मौत से वो लड़ती रही. नतमस्तक समर्पण तो है निशानी कायरों की, उन्नत मस्तक से युगों तक वो लड़ती रही.
This was a parchi Nanu wrote when Padma Kaki lost the battle of her life. A valiant fighter, she single handedly brought up her family after her husband's untimely death. An example of sheer hard work and determination, Padma Kaki worked tirelessly for a decade before stress and fatigue took control of her being and she finally met her end. Nanu had tremendous respect for Padma Kaki and paid tribute to her indomitable spirit through this parchi.
Nanu prized true friendships in life as priceless possessions. This parchi was a wish expressed for his friends and their unique friendship. कोई शिकायत नहीं है रब से, गर हमें 100 साल की उम्र ना लगे. सिर्फ एक ही अर्ज है मालिक से, हमारी दोस्ती को किसी की बुरी नजर ना लगे. So friends, this is what Nanu and his parchis are all about. Let's traverse through the journey of his parchis together.